a couple of seconds to go over there, and I'm just working out the technical stuff. Hey, everybody, I know that I've got 10 or 11 folks waiting, and I'm using StreamYard, and so I'm taking a couple minutes to just sort of speak and wait for it to pop up over on YouTube so I can be assured that it is working. When you guys first start hearing me talk, will you please go to the chat and make sure that the sound is all good? Great, I'm watching one of my very own ads. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, is that loud?
But you can hear me okay, right, Alex?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Great. Now, what I'm just waiting for is for it to pop up on YouTube. Oh, sounds like I'm stuck in the ads, but folks can hear me and we are good to go. Thank you, Matt, for confirming that. So, hey, everybody, there's about 10 or 11 people on according to YouTube and only 5 according to StreamYard. I have no idea what's going on there, but I'm just going to go, and I want to welcome Alex Cooper from WP Eagle. Alex, I'm not going to lie. I didn't know what your last name was until I went and looked it up today.
Cooper, yeah. It's like Alice Cooper, I guess. Maybe. I don't know.
Yes, but slightly younger.
So a lot of people call me Alice Cooper in the past.
Well, what I always think of you, honestly, is Alex Cross from the books. And I'm always like, no, it's not Cross, but it's something else, something much less bookish. So anyway, folks, what I wanted to do today was to do our regular Wednesday stream, but I wanted Alex to be here. And I have some questions for Alex. And I'm sure that folks who are in the chat may also have some questions for Alex. But mostly, I just wanted to hang out and have fun and make this our normal Workday Wednesday, live stream Wednesday, networking Wednesday. And so as always, I'm going to go over to the banners. I want everybody who is here, and I'm going to ask you over and over again to put your wins and progress for the week in the chat so that we can all celebrate you. We can all play some of my very professional sound effects. Ready? And then just, be together and hang out per usual. So I see that the chat has been going a little bit, and I'm going to get over there. I did want to give a special shout out to Matt Sale, who super chatted $20 this morning before we could even get here. And I wonder if Matt is drinking again, because that is the only time that Matt gets really loose with his wallet is when he's having either good days or bad days and sits and catches the stream with some whiskey. So thank you, Matt. Before I jump into questions, I just want to welcome the folks that are in the chat. So far, I see Bob and Carl and Pete. How's it going, everybody? I wanted to give a special shout out to J-Bug because he says we never say hi to him. Renat is here. Matt is here. And there are plenty of other folks jumping on. Bradbury and Mike. Awesome. And so here we go. So Alex, I'm going to start with my questions because I'm selfish like that. Okay, and I have some things I want to know because I honestly don't know that much about you. I have been watching your videos, but I don't think that I've caught a lot of the origin story. So I don't know, for example, how many sites you have. And I don't necessarily want to know how much money you make, but I don't necessarily understand how you make money and how it is that you support sort of a business here online. And so could you tell me just a little bit more about you so I have some perspective?
Yeah. I don't know how far we'll go back. I'll cut a long story short. So I haven't worked for anyone for nearly 20 years now. When I was working for people, I started as an apprentice, and I put cables in offices and that kind of stuff, network cables, and did that, learn about computers and technology and things doing that. I was then doing a Microsoft training for a little while, training people in like Windows NT4, I think it was then, and Windows 2000. So that's how long ago that was. And fast forward a little bit, and I ended up creating my own advertising agency, kind of, where we were helping people with Google AdWords, which was kind of new at the time, and Google Analytics and that kind of stuff. So I did that for a few years. We ended up in London. We had quite a lot of big clients. It was all going well. And then we decided to take investment from like a dragon. You ever seen Dragon's Den? And they came in and they started wanting to change everything. They said everyone had to go into the office every day. We used to dress casual. They said we had to wear a suit and tie. And yeah, me and them just didn't really see eye to eye on lots of things. So they decided it'd be best if I left and made me an offer, and I took it. And I've been happy ever since, because I don't have to go to London anymore, which is, it's a 45-minute train journey from here. but to do it every day is not very nice. And I kind of took my time. I was doing a little bit of YouTube. I knew quite a bit about WordPress, and I thought I'd do some WordPress tutorial videos, and that's how my channel started. And I'd also kind of seen affiliate sites and that kind of thing, so I set up a few of my own affiliate websites. I did one on WordPress themes, which did really well actually, until a couple of things went wrong with that one. I had the word WordPress in the URL, which is a trademark, and there's a word of warning there: don't use trademarks in your URL, because eventually you get a letter from the lawyers saying you'd like to take the website down. So that comes up, but I learned a lot doing that. And then I did my first tutorial a little while back where I created an affiliate site using WordPress, and that kind of pushed my channel forward in a big way. I got a lot of views and a lot of subscribers from that. And since then I've been creating kind of more affiliate type videos on my channel, which they use WordPress as well, because obviously WordPress is a great thing to use to set up affiliate websites. And that's it. In terms of how I'm living now, I make enough money off YouTube to live. In terms of the AdSense money alone would probably be enough. But of course, in my tutorials where I'm creating full websites, I'm also promoting hosting and domain names and plugins and themes and all that kind of stuff. So I have a mixture of revenue coming from people like Elementor, SiteGround, and all those guys. So that adds up quite nicely as well. And then, of course, I've got my Amazon affiliate sites, which I've got a handful. Some don't do much. They do maybe $20, $30 a month. But my big case study site, which is bestroofbox.com, which those of you that watch my channel will know about that site, that has just hit 4 figures a month from Amazon, even after the commission rate changes and all that. So in terms of my wins and progress for the week, that's a big win for me. The site has broken 4 figures. Last week, it had a couple of days where it did over $100 a day in commission. So, thank you. A little bit of harmonica, that's what it needed. So, and that's really exciting because I've been documenting that site from day one. I did a video on how I created the site, and then I've been doing subsequent videos on everything I've been doing, on the money I've spent on the site, the content I've created, the link building I've done, and everything else that I've learned with the site. And for it to get to that now and to share that experience with everyone has been fantastic. And that's where we are now, I think.
That is a great answer to that question, and it catched me up. And I'm just going to go to the chat really quick to say hi to Adrian, the boss, also La Vista boss is here. Sammy is here. Josh is here. Imran is here. It's great to see you guys jumping on and saying, hey, Simply Selling. Simply Selling, that's the first time I've seen that handle in the chat, and maybe I missed it. But if you are new to this stream, please let us know who you are and where you are and what you are working on, because it's great to get to know everybody. Matt says that he's been missing the stream lately, and he apologizes. And I say, how dare you? And then I'm saying hi to Ryan and World of Aviation. So folks, again, if you're new to the stream, new to this Wednesday hangout, it's smaller, definitely, than Alex's streams that he does once a week, because you go on Tuesdays, right? Every Tuesday.
This week I went Monday, and next week I'm going Monday. It's my wife's birthday on Tuesday, so I probably shouldn't stream then. We'd probably have to.
But generally, you go
that. So it'd be Monday, but every week, and it's grown really well. I mean, I did maybe a little bit of a cheap gimmick a few weeks ago where I gave away one of my affiliate marketing sites. But I've done this twice now. I've given away a couple of sites, and then when I do that, I have about 300 people watching, which is really hard to moderate in terms of the chat and everything. So, but great fun. So if you want to get your chat numbers up, just give away one of your websites.
Hey, I'm also saying hi to Dan. He says this is 2 of his favorite people chatting, and I'm happy to even be part of that. So one of the questions that somebody asked, Matt actually asked, is, have you ever heard of the ad network called Sortable? He is just getting on board with them now, and I just wondered if he had any experience with them or even knew of them. I've heard the name before, but I actually assumed that Sortable was some sort of SaaS or plugin type deal. It never occurred to me that it was an ad network. Have you heard of them?
No, I've never heard of them. And I'm feeling a little bit resentful at the moment towards other ad networks, because ever since Amazon cut their commissions a month or so back, I'm sure a lot of people know that, I've been looking to join other ad networks to promote roof boxes, mainly on my roof box site. And I've tried with AvantLink and Commission Junction and a few of the others, and some of them it's fine to actually get onto the platform, but to actually get a merchant to approve you, and the site is busy. It's going to do 15,000 users this month, so I'd have thought they would be interested in me, but I've just found it really hard work to just get approval from any other company apart from Amazon. I mean, I've tried with Walmart and a few other big guys, and not a bean. So be interested to know who is unsortable in terms of merchants and how you get on in terms of getting approved.
Well, I'm making the assumption he says the ad network is probably not an affiliate network. I'm guessing this is an ad network similar to.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I misread the question. Sorry. Yeah.
No, it's okay.
I've not heard of them. And in terms of ad networks, I'm still with AdSense.
Matt says maybe ad network isn't the right word, but they essentially manage all my advertising with the 15/85 split, and the networks all flow through them. So it's an ad management network similar to like Mediavine or AdThrive. Hey, Matt, what is the minimum traffic? Like, what are the threshold requirements for people to apply? Because if other people are interested in knowing about it, we can just share that information here on the stream and other people can check it out. Naeem says, just checking in. He says, thanks for the stream. And I say, thanks for being here. And just giving us his update. He said his OAK is going well and looking forward to adding another site. Any idea the amount of traffic needed to get approval for the second site? Well, theoretically, you're going to need the 10,000 sessions a month, although it depends on the support person that you get when you apply. Because some people are able to get sites through that have significantly less traffic, and they are in the process of trying to create an onboarding system to allow smaller sites to get in. So what I would say is just if you're ready, I would apply and then just keep asking about it and see if you can make it happen. And if you can't make it happen, let me know. Maybe we can try to make it work to make it happen. And Matt says 1 million page views a month for Sortable. That is going to only apply to very small number of folks who are probably watching this stream.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. Most people who are in the beginning stages are in the under 6 figures a month stage. I mean, I'm going to put my hands up. That's where I am at. So.
Me too.
All right. So one of the questions I have is about the Google update the May the 4th update. And I don't know if there are folks out there who have taken a look at their analytics in the last 2 days, but I have a case study site that got just decimated, just like cry my tears, decimated by the May the 4th, cut in half, basically. And the last 2 days, it has basically returned to its previous traffic levels. It basically doubled in traffic in the last 2 days. Wow. There's discussion that there's a rollback of that May the 4th update. I don't know if it's going to apply to everyone, but I just wondered if the folks who are in the chat could let us know, one, if you had a site that got hammered, and two, if you've checked your analytics to see if you are having any changes, and then I will direct the question to you. Alex, did you have any trouble with the May the 4th, and have you checked your analytics to see if there's been any changes?
On all my main sites, I didn't notice anything. I mean, if anything, my traffic is growing steadily. No, I wasn't really affected. I know Carl was, who's a regular on my channel and also on your channel. But yeah, I'm just having another quick look at my analytics right now. But I don't think I was affected. I mean, did you come up with any idea as to what had happened, why your site was affected in particular? Was there something that you'd done that you thought maybe has got you in trouble, or what are your thoughts?
Not for me particular. That particular site was one that I had focused, almost entirely on doing low competition, basically low value keywords. And I had done very little link building. And so there's been some discussion about this being a link related update. Some say specifically link velocity, like how many links the site is adding in a given month, or potentially even the anchor text of those things. I'm going to leave the specifics to the SEOs and the experts. The sum of it is that I wasn't really trying to do anything black hat or even gray hat in particular. I wasn't doing guest posts. I was just trying to create content and put it out there. And I've talked to a lot of people who have that style of site and did get hit and did sort of get caught up in this. And I just wonder if those are the sites that are going to kind of get the benefit of this rollback. Carl says, because Carl got hit, he said his traffic is better. So, that's it. I know his site is fairly similar to mine in that, but he may do more link building than I do. Let's see. Question. Is this your first time gig? Well, we know that this is his full-time gig basically at this point, and his traffic sources come from his websites and from YouTube. But you also have merch and you do done-for-you sites. Is that true?
Yeah. In terms of my traffic, all my traffic is organic on YouTube and on the affiliate sites, mainly from Google Organic. Yeah, but I also am selling ready to go sites. They're basically based on my affiliate marketing website. I've packaged it up as a template. It's basically like a WordPress backup file. And I partnered with Phil, who is from Spiderweb. He does lots of hosting. So basically, for one fixed cost, it's about $200 odd. You get an affiliate site hosted for a year. All you got to do is add your logo and start adding your content.
That's awesome. And are there any other streams that you're willing to share? You're like, that's it. That's pretty much what I do.
That's it. Yeah. YouTube selling sites. The merch is just a bit of fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's just because I wanted some people to wear my t-shirts, and a few people do. I think I've sold at least 10.
Is that, I'm assuming that's print on demand, right? With like Printify. Which print on demand company are you using?
It's a UK company called Incredible, and it's great. And I'm sure a lot of other companies are like them. You basically, if you've got a WooCommerce site on your WordPress, just kind of plug straight in. When someone places an order, it puts it straight through to them. They print it, they dispatch it, they do everything. I just got to keep the account topped up with some money, and then it works fine.
Awesome. Naeem says, my interview with the Ezoic CMO the other day was great. You know, it's really easy to put together a great interview when the guest is really great. That's all I'm saying. But thank you for the thoughts. One of my questions then, though, was looking at what's going on in the world. Are you doing or planning to do anything different in your business? I mean, we're talking about the pandemic. We're talking about the algorithm, like, trauma and, this sort of, it seems like this world that we're in is just less secure than maybe we thought of it as 12 months ago, just because of the constant updates coming out and the pandemic traffic. And are you going to do anything different?
No. I think I've seen an increase in my business because of the pandemic. Definitely. There's definitely more people watching YouTube. There's definitely more people looking at the affiliate sites. In fact, there's a lot more people buying roof boxes. I don't know whether that's anything to do with the pandemic, but I guess people are thinking about now, rather than going abroad or going too far from home on a plane, they're thinking, I'm just going to load up the car. So all I would say is that, I mean, with any change like this in anything, there's always going to be opportunity. And I think now is, a perfect time to actually start a project or work even harder on the projects you've already got, because you've probably got more time. If you have got a day job over here in the UK, we've got a furlough scheme. It's a new word. I didn't even know of it before COVID. So the government is basically paying everyone's wages to stay at home. So a lot of people have got a lot of time. So I think it's a great opportunity now to spend some time, work on your projects, and doing it online is a great place to do it, because there's a lot more people spending a lot more time on the internet. But no, personally, I haven't really thought about any, drastic changes to my business. I mean, I don't have any clients as such that I go and visit or anything like that. So it's fine. So I tend to spend a lot of time at home as it is.
So what would you do? I mean, would you be okay if your main YouTube channel, which you have 46,000 subscribers, if WP Eagle just for some reason got a massive strike and just went down? I mean, would your business be okay?
It would be a little bit of a hit for sure. But I'd be okay, I'm sure. As I've got multiple different streams, I'd focus more on my affiliate strikes, so I'd start another one. Talking of YouTube strikes, actually, the other day, I've got the Stream Deck here, which you should definitely check out if you're streaming, get all your buttons. But not if you've got kids, because my son came here, he's pressing all the buttons, doing all the sound effects, that kind of thing. And I had a button on there, which was the go live button. And he pressed that and it fired up, and he streamed for about 2 or 3 minutes. And I guess because there was a child in there, YouTube automatically flagged it and put a strike against it. So let me off this time. But as you say, the one worry I guess that there is with our businesses, whether it be affiliate, whether it be you having ads on your site or YouTube, is that we are dependent on generally a large corporation letting us carry on doing what we're doing. If Amazon one day decide they don't want affiliates, or if YouTube decide they don't want your channel, we are at their mercy. But hopefully, as we're kind of entrepreneurial, we're adaptive enough to be able to just, do other things and not have all our eggs in one basket, as it were.
Matt just commenting a little bit about the site that he runs, because people are talking in the chat about his site that gets more than 1 million page views a month.
Yeah.
And he's saying, one, that he will hit 3 million page views a month. And then he talks about why it is that he is looking for an alternative, sort of maybe unusual network. A lot of the folks who are in this business are using ad networks that are very familiar, but he's having a hard time getting into those ad networks because he is covering the news. And so I guess that's just really good information for folks that are covering topics or feeling nervous or just aren't willing to jump into topics that would violate terms of service for particular ad networks or might not get approved. I mean, there is a lot of traffic to topics like guns and gambling, and I mean the runs the gamut. I don't want to get a strike on my channel by even talking about some of them, right? But there is traffic out there for them, and so just knowing that there are alternative ways to monetize that traffic, and it shouldn't necessarily stop people from jumping out there into that. So I wanted to just put Carl's comment up here on the screen.
Too kind. I think we missed World of Aviation question, and there was also another question I think I saw regarding the profit of the affiliate site.
I saw that one too, and now I'm going to scroll up. I saw a bunch of comments from the World of Aviation, and he says, is this the one? You'll have to let me know.
Yeah.
What not to do when having an affiliate site, especially for new people. So top not to do practices.
What not to do? I'd avoid any shady practices that we've already spoken of. So anything to do with, PBNs or any shady SEO practices. I mean, even guest posts are frowned upon now by Google. If you're going to do a guest post for someone's site, in theory, the link back to your site should be a no-follow link because Google don't like it. So don't do anything shady. Do it all above board. And just don't get too fixated on always trying to put products into your articles. A lot of people think, I've got to just do lots of articles and put loads of affiliate links all in them. Just try and deliver, some useful content. Try and help people out, because generally I find the best articles on an affiliate site are the ones where you're answering a question. So go onto Google, do some searches, find the questions that people are asking about your particular niche or niche, and answer them in the best way you possibly can. Be helpful, because that's all we're trying to do as affiliates, is help people make a purchasing decision. So deliver some valuable information. My other thing would be, don't get too stressed if it's not happening as quickly as you'd like it to. A lot of people think affiliate marketing is a bit of a get rich quick scheme. It's not. It's quite a slow burn. You could be working on your site for 6 months and not see much happen, but just be patient and keep calm and keep doing it, and the good things will come to those who wait, I guess.
Another question from Pete. I think I'm getting caught up. And folks, if you were in this and you're thinking, man, they didn't get to my question, I'm getting to the point where it's getting harder to scroll up. And I honestly don't know how Alex manages 300 when I've got 30, and that's just plenty. I actually like that this is a smaller stream today, because it's really easy to talk to people and to answer questions. So, but here's your question. How is the P&L on money spent versus revenue so far, and how long until profitability?
Okay. Now I did a video on this a little while back. Obviously, that's a little bit out of date. The first thing I'll say is I spent money on things just because I wanted to create a YouTube video about them, if that makes sense. So, for example, I went to the Hoff, who are an SEO company, and I bought one of their $500 guest post packages just because I wanted to see what it was, and I wanted to create a YouTube video, and I thought it'd be a great video to have. I spent $500 on a guest post because I think people would watch that. So I did a few things that maybe you wouldn't do if you were doing an affiliate site for real. The other thing I want to say is that I didn't write any of the content. I think I wrote one article. In fact, no, I didn't even write that. I planned it all out, and then I outsourced it. So I outsourced all of the content. So again, if you were going to create an affiliate site on a budget, you would probably create a lot of the content yourself. So keeping all that in mind, I'm also ultra lazy, and I pay someone to add all the articles to the site. So I have an editor. So, all those things are going to put the costs up. So in terms of the total that I've spent on the site, I've spent around $9,000. However, at the current rate of earnings, it will be profitable at the end of August. So another 2 months. And then we'll be in the profit. And
that's
ultimately, yeah. And ultimately, my goal is to sell the site because I want to have closure to the whole playlist on YouTube, the whole tutorial of me sharing everything. And the site has been valued at over 35,000. So if I do sell it, then yeah, we'll be well in profit.
Next, well, see a few comments. I want to say, hey, and I feel like I've seen this face before, but with a different handle, with a different name. So I'm saying, hey, and you have to tell me what you normally talk to me on, because there's some folks in here who change up their names and they don't tell me who they are, and then I feel silly. Matt says, stay away from fiber link building with a ha ha ha, yeah, and I totally agree. Carl is talking about your team of moderators. I'm assuming because Carl is a moderator.
Yeah, Carl's on the team.
And then Bob asks, do you know of any mastermind groups for niche website bloggers?
Well, of course, there's the WP Eagle Mastermind group, which is on Facebook. Do check that out. We've also got a Discord, which I didn't even know what a Discord was. But again, one of my viewers kindly set up a Discord server. So I've been on there. That's been great. So that's like a real-time chat place. Yeah, but in terms of, I'm not a big fan of being members of lots of groups. I find it overwhelming and a great place to waste lots of time. So, you know, I don't spend enough time in my own group. So yeah, come and join us in the WP Eagle one. It's up to about 800 members now on Facebook. And yeah, it's a great place to share ideas or ask questions, that kind of stuff.
So I see on your channel a lot, you're talking with a lot of people, which I think is cool because, you know, I love the idea of talking with community members. It's something that I've started to do, and I love that you are doing it and basically taking it, feels like, to the next level, right? I did it once or twice, and then you've got so much content on your channel that I feel is so valuable. But how do you network, I guess, for yourself personally? Because you try to find like-minded individuals, but for me, I've got to look for folks who are probably one step ahead of me. And are you talking with anybody in any of your masterminds that are ahead of you so you have some place to reach toward?
Well, I fellow YouTubers is great. So anyone who's in a similar space, I mean, I've worked with Income School, who I look up to in a big way because they've obviously had far more success than me in terms of making money online and affiliate marketing and all that stuff. Doug Cunnington, who I know you're familiar with as well.
Yeah, I like Doug.
He's been great. And again, we just connected over YouTube. And then, yeah, there's just a few of the other regular guys that I kind of follow. I wouldn't say that I have a particularly close relationship with that many people. But actually, it's probably an area I should improve on. I don't really have, you know, a mentor, as you say, that's a couple of steps ahead, because I think that's great, a great thing to have, someone that you can talk to and someone that, you know, can help you along the way.
You know, for me personally, and I'll just throw my own 2 cents into this, I think one of the things that I did that made 2 things happen. One, this experience was much more enjoyable. And then also I started to have more success when I just had other people to talk to, and not to distract myself or keep myself from working, but somebody who was at the similar level to interact with. And then some people who are slightly ahead of me to reach for. And I've been working on not asking for permission, right? You know, it's like, should I use this hosting, or should I post this thing, or should I make this change? You know, I think in the beginning, a lot of people feel the need to get that confirmation that it's okay from someone else. So I'm not saying someone, you know, to run things through to say, you know, is this good? Is this good? Is this good? But people just to talk to at a high level about the overall global positioning of things and what you want to do. Those things, I think, changed my entire experience. And I went from sitting on my computer by myself, you know, wondering, is this going to work? Is this going to work? And then talking to people who it was working for, and it helped me overcome sort of those moments of doubt, right? Is this going to work? Taking it from the if to when, not if it succeeds, but when it succeeds, because you surround yourself with people that it's succeeding for. So I'm just going to throw that out to the folks who are in the chat if they haven't started or they're in the beginning, because like you said, this is a slow burn.
Yeah. So who is anyone in particular you can mention that you've talked to, or,
you know,
groups?
I have started talking to a lot of people who are actually in the chat right now. Carl, Jesse, Matt, who always drops me a super chat whenever he's in there. There's several people over here who actually are much more experienced than I am. I mean, Jesse is, and I don't want to call out Jesse for for some of his recent moves because he's not ready to share those. But Jesse has sites, and I interviewed him on my podcast. And just you start talking to these people, and then you find out how much experience that they have, and they might be hanging out on the channel, and you think maybe they're coming for information, but ultimately they're in the same place I am. They don't come here because they want to hear me tell them what to do. They come here because they want to network and meet other people. They would love to have the opportunity just to talk to people like you who just understand them, because they go home and nobody understands them. The hard part about finding a mentor, I think, in this business is most of the people who could mentor would rather just make their money. So they don't
just tell you a course.
Yeah, there are very few folks that are putting out courses, but if they're already making 6 figures a month from their ad revenue, they're like, why do I need students? I'll just go do more of what it is that I'm doing. And so it's hard to find a mentor. I mean, I think that we can definitely find connections, less on the technical side and more about the need to network and just to be heard and to talk. But that was one thing that I've like, oh man, it'd be really great to have a mentor to talk to and to have help. But it's kind of out of my price range, because a lot of these folks, they say, okay, well, for it to be worth my time, I would need $1,000.
Yeah.
Like, well, crap. That's slightly out of my price range. Let's see. I've got another question from Sammy, and I just had it and it disappeared. He said, who do you pay to write your articles, a person or an agency?
A mixture. I've been using the company called Texton for quite a while. I've had pretty good results from them. I've had a couple of people, again, just from YouTube, just approach me and say, I'm a writer, can I help you? And they'll often say, I'll do an article for free. So yeah, I've got a couple of guys that I met that way. I like BKA Content as well as an agency. They're in the States. So it's a kind of mix, yeah.
World of Aviation asks how to make sure if the freelancer has written non-plagiarized articles and where one can get authentic writers. What, in your experience, do you think?
In terms of the plagiarism, there's a few tools you can do. Copyscape and Grammarly have one of those plagiarism detector things. So you could probably use Google as well to a certain extent. Just copy and paste full paragraphs into Google and see if it comes up. Yeah. As I mentioned, in terms of authentic writers, Texton and BK Content have both been good. And then other people that I meet along the way that say, can I do some writing? I ask them to do an article and see what it's like. And if it's good, then we do some more. If not, then it's see you later. I mean, I think probably Carl is a better person to ask about content. He has had a lot more content created than I have. He's got spreadsheets and structures and all that kind of stuff, whereas I'm actually really bad at ordering content. Generally, I'll give them a few keywords and say, can you go away and do some research and come back with an article?
Yeah, and I have a feeling that in the future, we're going to hear a lot more from Carl about exactly that topic. Carl says he's loving the stream. Please like the stream. Yep, I'm not checking over on YouTube. I'm sure we've got our first thumbs down, or maybe our second or third.
No, yeah, it's 18 likes so far. No thumbs down.
No thumbs down. Well, there's one coming, because there's somebody out there who really dislikes me. And I swear they just watch they're probably subscribed, and they just watch for me to drop new videos and then to race there and give it the thumbs down before anybody else can get to it. I don't know what people are like.
I have that person on my channel too.
Is it that maybe it's the same person? That's their thing.
I'm trying to think that maybe it might not even be a person.
Maybe it's a bot that just automatically
sometimes they're so quick, like they'll be there within a split second, and yeah.
Who does that?
I don't know. But they reckon that any engagement on YouTube is a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's I guess it hasn't really hurt me, right? I mean, I guess I don't know if it's hurt me, but just going back to the topic of masterminds, like Matt is super well. I would not hesitate to say successful. I mean, we don't talk about earnings or the rest, so I don't necessarily know what his site that has 3 million page views or visitors a month gets. But he says he wouldn't imagine making a course. He just wants to do his thing, and that's probably the truth for a lot of folks. That maybe that's the type of person who is attracted to passive income type sites, right? It's not passive, but the work you do the work and then you just go and do what you want to. Like the reason that I'm kind of pink and I'm super washed out, you can't see, is because I spent the last 2 days stand-up paddleboarding and kayaking with my kids. I was completely off of my computer. I didn't touch it. And I'm here now, but I have the freedom to do that.
Yeah, it gives you freedom. I mean, there is no such thing as a truly passive residual income, because, you know, whatever you've got that's generating you that income, you still got to keep an eye on it. It's still got to maintain it. You've got to keep it on course. There's always going to be work to be done. And even if you outsource that work, you still need to then manage those people that you've outsourced to. So, yeah, but it does give us a lot of time. It's basically just transitioning away from selling your time for money to actually putting your time into something that will make you money.
Here's Pete throwing in a very valuable comment. Thank you, Pete, as always, for contributing to the stream. And I guess that's a reference to your channel, because I don't know what it is about yelling Phil.
No, there is a Phil who's a regular on my channel. I don't know. They have this thing now on my stream where they at the end they continually keep asking me questions because they know that I can't leaving a question unanswered. So they try and make me, it's a little competition to keep me on stream for as long as possible.
Carl said he got a record 40 plus thumbs down on the live stream. And you know what? Just be the best. If you're going to be out there, just be the best at whatever it is.
Yeah, don't worry about the haters.
I wouldn't. Bradbury says he's seen Carl on both channels. Might be a coincidence. You know what? He just might be good. I mean, that's what I take from it. I want to say hey to Sabine. Thanks for jumping in. There was a thumbs down, but it went away. So somebody's screwing with us, basically.
I know there is one now. It's because you mentioned it.
I did. But you know what? Like you said, any engagement is good engagement.
Exactly.
So there. Let's see. Matt says, I'll also help those who ask. I get approached a lot, and usually people want me to spoon feed them without any effort or offering value. You know, and that it could be one of the reasons why a lot of the folks who have the knowledge and information have a hard time making that part of their business, because a lot of the people who do reach out are not the folks that are in this chat. The folks I think of who are here are action takers, right? They're people who actually are taking steps. Those are the people I think that are attracted to this stream. And by the way, there's a lot of people who have not put their updates over there, and I am anxiously waiting those so I can celebrate you, or even losses, whatever, just progress. We're all in this together. But a lot of people do reach out and they almost want you to do it for you. And I can see how that would be really frustrating when you actually had some level of success and then you want to help people. But the people who are reaching out, they don't want to help themselves. Do you see a lot of that in your business?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that, you know, they just want everything to happen really quickly and without doing too much work. And I think that's just probably because they've seen a lot of stuff online that kind of makes it all look really easy. Whereas we know it's not easy, any of this stuff. There's a lot of work involved. It's just a different kind of work to the working for someone else kind of work.
Mm-hmm. Sammy's question is, have you ever used the KGR, the keyword golden ratio?
Yeah. I did a whole playlist with Doug Cunnington on that. In fact, if you check my channel, we did 10 videos on it together. And well, if I'm honest, I don't use it anymore. But I know there's a lot of people that have had some great success with it. I'm generally at the point now with my Roofbox website, because there's only so much you can really write about roof boxes. So if I find any phrase or any question or any search on Google to do with Roofbox that I don't have an article on, I'll just have that article created. And generally the articles all tend to rank really well because they're all kind of long tail type keyword articles. But no, the KGR does work. And the thing is, it's been around for a little while. And as we were talking about earlier, Google does change what it's doing all the time. And Google has become very clever now in terms of reading articles and working out what they're all around. And it gets that from not just the keywords. It's able to read the language, and a bit like a human being would, I think, and get an understanding that way rather than just looking at the keyword that's in the page title. So I think it still has its place, and it's still a good way to come up with ideas in terms of the content that you want to focus on. I think it is slightly flawed because it depends on keyword tools and the numbers that they provide. And I know from experience that those numbers aren't always very accurate.
Are you using keyword tools?
Google. I had that new one what was that new one that I put on my browser the other day that looked quite good? search something. I can't remember what it was called now. Oh, not that one. I've got too many. I still use keywords everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not scared to buy some tokens when I need them because they're not a lot of money. I can't find the tool. Carl, help me out. What's that new plugin that everyone uses? Searchy something, SERP something. Oh, I don't know. Basically, I don't use one much.
Demos says,
answer the public if I want to get a load of question ideas, maybe.
Demos, if you have a question and I missed it, please call me out and just put it down there in the comments right now, because I'm scrolled to the bottom and I've got about hundreds that I've got to catch up with. So I will definitely not leave here. I will not let Alex leave here if we don't get
I
it.
wouldn't dream of leaving with an unanswered question.
I saw a question, update from Denise, who is throwing in her update. She said 2 out of her 5 articles are winning the snippets, and that is totally worth a
wow.
But the bummer is that the weather is finally nice and it's hard to stay focused. And welcome to the world of working for yourself. Jana says that Google Search Console is helpful in discovering new keywords, and I think that is an underutilized tool. People don't even realize necessarily in GSC what it's noting that they are ranking for, and that can be a good place to see sort of the weird and wacky keywords people are using to find your website. So I totally agree. Carl says Surfer. Pete
Surfer,
says,
that's it. Thank you, Carl.
Oh, you're using Surfer?
Yeah, well, when I say using, I've had a look at it and whatnot, but yeah, that looks pretty good.
Let's see. World of Aviation says, have you ever thought of directly approaching rooftop manufacturers and bypassing Amazon?
Yep. I had a chat with a couple of guys a month or so ago, and we were talking about, switching over to drop shipping. Yeah, there's a couple of companies that I've seen online that I think would be a good fit. I'm actually probably going to do it with another one of my sites, which is already kind of geared up for that. It's swimsigns.com, another site that I created in a YouTube video. That one uses a plugin called WooZone. So it's basically got like a shopping cart, and it pulls down products from Amazon using the API. People can add products to their cart, and then they check out, and when they check out, they get redirected to Amazon. So it'd be very easy to switch that shopping cart to a normal shopping cart. Mm-hmm. And I know a company just up the road from me here that sells swimming pool signs. So I might do it with that one. It would have to be UK only shipping, maybe. I'd have to find another company in the States to help me. But yeah, my one issue with all these things, and the reason why I love affiliate and the reason why I love advertising more than drop shipping and these other kind of businesses, these e-commerce businesses, is, and you mentioned it earlier, it's nice to go out and do stuff that you want to do when you want to do it. Like now, the weather here is really hot. It's 30 degrees. So we don't often get warm days like that. So when they come along, it's great to be able to seize them and do what I like. With those kind of businesses, you have got customers and there is a customer service element to them, and managing the supplier and that kind of stuff. And, I just don't know if I want that.
Well, what about going to a company that doesn't have an affiliate program and just switching all of your affiliate links to that company and having them pay you? More like a...
Yeah, you could do that.
As an idea.
That's an idea. But my one thing with these other companies, and I've anecdotally heard this as well, is that they don't convert as well as Amazon. Although Amazon doesn't pay as much, when people go to Amazon from one of my links, they generally buy because they've already got an Amazon account. They only have to click one button, go to some other site they've never heard of. They don't trust it. They have to fill in a massive form. They have to find their credit card, which is downstairs. Whereas with Amazon, it's one click and it's done. And also when they're on Amazon, they put the roof box in their basket, and then they add some, pasta and some swimming trunks and, all kinds of other weird things. And you get commission on all of it. So we're talking about this on Monday, actually, on my stream, that, I'm still not discounting Amazon, although, ethically, I think maybe they're a little bit of a gray area in terms of how Amazon operates somehow. And you have to be able to reconcile that with your own conscience. Yeah, in terms of for affiliate marketing, I still think Amazon is number one, and all the other stuff is a lot harder work.
Carl says he's got to go, and I'm sure he's gone already. But Carl, thanks for popping in
Carl.
and
See you around.
Meaningfully. I appreciate you. Asim is jumping on, and I haven't seen you in a while, and I just wonder how it is that you are doing. We are just talking and doing our regular Wednesday live stream and networking, connecting. So whatever you want to throw out there, what are you working on? Asim, let us know, because I would love to talk about it with you, and so would Alex.
Yeah.
Demos put his question in the comments in the chat again, so now we are going to catch it. He says, how do you differentiate yourself when it comes to affiliate and SEO? There are so many people who do affiliate using SEO. What would you say that your edge is? I mean, how do you make your site competitive?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't get bogged down in SEO as such. I mean, there's a lot of people that they're just into SEO a lot and talk about link building, and maybe they use plugins or your own tools to get all your metadata and your other stuff, whatever you put around your tags, and what else do you put on the schema? Oh God, of all this other SEO stuff. And I just go back to what I said earlier. I just try and create content, and I try and answer questions that maybe haven't been answered before, or haven't been answered particularly well on Google, or haven't been answered as exactly as they should be. So, you know, when you type in a question to Google, there'll be stuff that comes up, but it doesn't quite answer the question as well as it possibly could. And that's all I do. I obviously do the basic SEO. I make sure that I put the question in the title, and I have headers, and I do use an SEO plugin. I use Rank Math, which seems to work really well, and that does the schema. So if I've got an FAQ page, I mark it up as an FAQ and all that kind of stuff. But no, I don't get obsessed with SEO. I just try and deliver better content than whatever's out there. That's kind of how I try and have the edge. And it seems that Google's happy with that as it is. And, you know, and I also know that if I do that, in the long term, it should be okay, because any of the other stuff you're doing where you are, you know, even when you're buying guest posts, or even when you're swapping guest posts, or whether you're just, you know, doing a guest post because you want to get a link, you're building links. And at the end of the day, Google doesn't like you building links. That is trying to manipulate Google, and Google hates to be manipulated. Whereas if you just try and deliver some good content and let the rest sort itself out, which it seems to, you'll be fine for the long term.
I want to stop real quick and say hey to Chris from Niche Safari. And Alex, I don't know if you have come across Chris yet. His channel, he's got a couple hundred subscribers, and I feel like he is an up-and-coming YouTuber, sort of in the realm of creating tutorial videos. He's working really hard, and his branding is Niche Safari. And so what he's doing is actually selling some of his niche research. And I think he has some packages, and Chris, you'll have to put in the comments what it is specifically that you are doing, but he's helping people figure out a niche and sort of giving them some research about what they could do and how they could position it and do it. And I like that he's picked out Niche Safari, because it makes sense to me as the brand, like hunting for that niche. And he's got the little giraffe.
Sometimes on my live streams, I actually call them, the title of the stream is niche hunting. We actually go niche hunting, looking for the best niches. Although you obviously shouldn't do any hunting in the African safari. That would be bad. But yeah, I see that. I see where he's coming from. I'm just looking at his channel now. It looks really good. I've just subscribed, and I will watch some videos later.
Yeah, no, he's a good person, I think, to connect with, because he's one of those folks that's actually in the trenches and doing the work. And I mean, I just really love those channels, and I love those folks who are just legitimately trying hard to be authentic and trying to do it the right way. And he is one of those folks. We also have Many Moms. How's it going, Many Moms?
Hello.
And that must be Zoe. How's it going? Thanks for dropping in. Seem says he got banned for violating terms and conditions and never got his account back. That is a bummer. I'm sorry to hear that. And learn from his mistakes. Do not download and use Amazon images. We'll learn from Seem's mistake on that one. Chris says he's not selling anything yet. Well, this is me trying to get after you and give you the elbow, like, get there. He says he's trying to add value for the people at the moment, and I appreciate you. Phil's dropping in. Is this a Phil that we know? We've been talking about.
That could be the Phil from earlier that people were shouting your name, Phil.
He said he's putting in a stop to say hi. Will it be on iPlayer afterward? This will be here on YouTube. It will. So I don't know where or what iPlayer is, but if you can get it on YouTube, then yes, it will be here, and that would be awesome and exciting. Asim asked me about the Ismail Blogger collab. His content is great and genuine, and I agree. And actually, I wanted to go and consume his content, Asim, and I was having a hard time finding a video that was in English. And so, if you have a great video that you think I should consume, I would love to look at it. So if you wouldn't mind linking it to me, I would. He's got a channel of 40,000 people now, and he seems to be growing fairly rapidly. But I just haven't had a chance to connect with him yet. But I'm actually subscribed to his channel, and so I've just kind of been watching the stuff roll through. Phil says iPlayer is a British joke, which is probably one of the many reasons why I don't get it.
iPlayer is a BBC. They give it to us for free. It's like Netflix but free. Although it's not free because we have to pay our TV license here, which is the law, but it's still cheaper than Netflix.
Phil says he will watch later for sure. Asim, he's just said, can a person use an Amazon image just next to Amazon affiliate link inside the blog post? What do you think, Alex?
I think you have to be careful. The best way to insert images is using the site stripe. So you go to Amazon, you get the product page up, and then you got your little toolbar, you copy the code in. But sometimes that doesn't work for you. What I've done is you'll generally find that the images that Amazon have are exactly the same images that the manufacturer have. So I sometimes borrow the manufacturer's ones. I don't always ask permission. One thing I don't do, though, is I don't add affiliate links to any images. That's sometimes how you get into trouble. So you rip an image off somewhere, whether it be Amazon or the manufacturer site, which, as I say, they're generally the same. So if you took it from the manufacturer site, and if Amazon said, you've taken our image, you say, no, I got it from the manufacturer site. But there's a problem if you do put your affiliate link. So just don't link those images through with your affiliate link and you should be fine. But if you want to be 100% above board, then you do need to just use site stripe. However crap they look on the site.
That is I guess a trick. Most people don't realize, or at least in the beginning, I didn't, that how often people click on images, and then that can be a place where people hide affiliate links. So, you put the table, rather than having a table, it's actually an image. So people will try to click on it to zoom into it so that they can read it a little better. And that will actually be an affiliate link that will take them to the actual product page. And it's a pretty sneaky way to get a link, to get the cookie or whatever else. But as far as depending upon where your jurisdiction is or where your traffic is coming from, I mean, it needs to be pretty clear, especially with Amazon, when something is linked and that you are an affiliate and all the rest. But I guess if you're in maybe a country or in a program that they don't care about any of that stuff, and you just want to drive traffic to the product page, people do click on images. I guess that's my point. And if it's clear in the caption that this image is an affiliate link or something to let people know that what they are clicking on is an affiliate link. But it is like people click on images all the time for all kinds of reasons. Maybe they want to make it bigger. Maybe they are just click on everything. They do, but people click on images all the time. And I've definitely gotten a lot of clicks through images.
Yeah, I generally always make sure it's very clear that if you click here, you're going over to Amazon.
Let's see. WP Eagle, have you tried other affiliates like ClickBank or CJ?
Well, yeah, as I was saying earlier, I am signed up with Commission Junction, but I've struggled to get any of the merchants to approve me. I've even reached out to affiliate managers for companies like rei.com and said, look, I've got my site. I've been generating all these sales for Amazon. I'd like to give you some of that revenue, and nothing. In terms of ClickBank, I have promoted ClickBank products a long time ago. I mean, anyone who's familiar with ClickBank will know that there are certain sort of product over there. It's generally ebooks and courses and that kind of thing. However, I am thinking as a little project and as a little YouTube experiment to share with everyone of doing a little bit of ClickBank again. When I did ClickBank, it was before Facebook ads. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking of finding some random product on ClickBank, something in a niche that I've probably not even heard of. And then trying to see if I can identify those people on Facebook and see if I can put the two together. Whether I do that by creating my own landing page. But yeah, something quick and easy, because there's a lot of people saying that can still be done. You can get cheap traffic from Facebook, send it over to a ClickBank product and make it work. I don't know if it works, or if it doesn't work, I'll share with everyone what happens.
Pete has a follow-up comment about using Amazon SiteStripe. It says it is okay to link to Amazon from the image if you are using SiteStripe.
Yeah, well, the SiteStripe will include your affiliate link in that image.
So he says every image that he uses has a click image to see on Amazon. So every image that he has from
I've not seen that. Does it add that automatically? I've not seen that before.
Asim says that he wants you to do your own intro. He loves your intro. And honestly, what is your intro?
I don't know where it came from. Because I guess when I first started recording, I used to start every video by saying, in this video, I'm going to be whatever. And it turned into where I kind of dragged the in out. So it's like in this video. And it's kind of stuck. And I see that all the big YouTubers, they all have a little catchphrase or something. So I kind of stuck with it.
Crap. I don't
know.
know.
There you go, Tim. I hope that was okay for you.
Well, then that is what I'm missing then. Is that the only thing that separates me from the big YouTubers then? Is maybe, I don't have
you need a catchphrase.
Maybe if you guys are still here, help me with a catchphrase. Something ridiculous. Oh, and by the way, I also wanted to shout out Pete, because last week I went live with Morton Storgard from Passive Income Geek, and that is another guy, Alex. If you have not been watching his videos, he's an up-and-comer too. Morton is great. He's from Denmark, so he's closer to your time zone, but he's doing really well with display ads. He's got a dog site and an RVing site, and his YouTube is growing really quickly, and he's just going live now. He's starting to do live interviews and stuff. So he's pretty cool. But anyway, to continue this long story, last week, I did a live stream, my first live interview. So the first time I'd ever done this. And Pete was messaging me on Facebook telling me that there was a bug on my shoulder. And so, of course, I see that. And then I'm in the video, you can see me like frantically like. So folks, if you were watching this, will you please hate on Pete Miles a little bit for me, because I can't smack him wherever he is. Alex, I see that your channel has been live. This WP Eagle channel has been live since 2012. And so that's 8 years of YouTube.
Yeah.
What are some tips or takeaways that you can provide to us with your 8 years of YouTube experience?
Well, you think with that long, I should have way more subscribers. If you look at there's a few channels I've been watching, and they've already surpassed me, and they're much younger. Again, it's just patience, a lot of work, posting regularly. I think a lot of people like that kind of regularity and consistency, which is maybe why the catchphrase works quite well, because it adds a kind of consistency across all the videos. But I think YouTube is a great platform. It's good fun. It's a great place to build a community. I love all my viewers, and they spend a lot of time with me, and they help me with lots of things, and they always send me nice comments and help me with moderation and all that kind of stuff. So if anyone's thinking of YouTube, I'd recommend that you start it. Don't worry too much about your first videos. They're going to be terrible. If you look at mine, they're terrible.
Mine too.
The most recent ones are pretty bad as well, but the early ones are even worse. And yeah, you don't need anything too fancy in terms of cameras or software. You can get by with cheap cameras or your phone and some free software, and just do it. It's great, and just carry on. And it is really rewarding when you get, and you must have it as well. You get comments from people that you say, I watch your videos and you've changed my life. I set up this website, or I did this and did that, or you've really helped me. And that's better than any money or anything, I think.
Well, I suppose I might feel better if I got those comments. Maybe I'm just not there yet.
I'm sure you will.
Maybe I don't create life-changing comments.
I just want to say hello to J-Bug again, because I've just quickly pulled up your interview with Passive Income Geek. Just quickly skipped forward completely by chance to 7 minutes 23 seconds. I was actually looking to see if there was a bug on your shoulder. But there's a comment from J-Bug, and it says, why does nobody ever welcome J-Bug? Even Alex from WP Eagle always skips me, even after 6+ months. So I do apologize, Jay. It's nothing personal. You know what it's like, the chat. I don't know, maybe it's something to do with the letter J and my eye just missed it. But I'd like to say hello to J-Bug. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for joining me on my streams. Thanks for joining me tonight here with Emilia. But yeah, I will try my best not to miss you again.
And I want to say hi to Darren. I haven't seen Darren in a while. He's our bookstore. Darren is yet another person who has been on this journey with me for a while. He's doing the Project 24, doing a Project 24 site, and he has done the roundup videos with us, and he also submitted to a podcast. He was one of my first podcast interviewees, and he's somebody who's also in the trenches grinding away. And so I just feel the need to shout him out to say, hey, and I haven't heard too much from you, Darren, about how things are going lately. And I was actually wondering if you noticed any changes as far as traffic because of the Google algorithm rollback that we're seeing in the last couple of days. You may have missed earlier in the stream, but I mentioned that my case study site that got slaughtered in the May the 4th update has been had a pretty massive recovery if in the last 2 days. And I mean, we don't know if this is going to be, if this is going to stick and how this is going to go, but I had wondered if you had seen any changes on your site. So if you're still here, Darren, let me know. Alex, you have like 4 YouTube channels, right?
Oh, well, I have 2. I have WP Eagle, which is my main one. I have my personal one, which is like Alex Cooper, which was just a bit of fun, just to play around, do some vlogs. I don't upload much to that. I've got one that I set up as an experiment, which was basically just me recording iPad games, kids' iPad games, literally not talking or anything, just playing the game for 10 minutes, recording it, putting it up. And then I did some videos on that. In fact, it got loads and loads of views and it got tons of subscribers just from doing that. I've got a YouTube channel for the Roofbox site, which I paid to get some videos produced from, again, the Hoff, mainly because I wanted to make videos about them making videos just so I could share the experience with my viewers. I've got one where I play some iPhone games, but I've not uploaded that to that one for ages. That was, again, just a bit of fun. I think, back in the day, I started lots of YouTube channels to try and find my feet in terms of what I wanted to create content around, and turned out it was affiliate marketing and WordPress.
Jay says he appreciates you and he's just joking sometimes.
Sometimes. Sometimes he's not, though, I know.
Darren says he's slacking this week, and I doubt that because I know Darren is working hard either at his job or on everything, and so his level of slacking is basically a normal human's work level. Chris is talking about Morton, about how he is awesome. He's legitimately awesome and Danish. And apparently he was formerly in a metal band, or he was like this like goth metal, like that was his before persona, like black hair and like fingernails, and he's a drummer. And I mean, it's so funny. You see people online and you think that you know what they are about, but you don't have always their backstory. You don't know what they do when they're not right here on the screen. So I just think that is a really sort of hilarious that's what his
pretty much everyone in Denmark was like in a metal band.
I think that isn't that the thing, like that's part of it.
Yeah, they definitely like that in Denmark for sure.
It's like in Israel you have to go into the military, and in Denmark you have to join a metal band, like spend 1 year just rocking out for 12 months. Let's see. Sheikh says similarities. We are both growing. Is your YouTube channel, would you say that the growth that you're having right now is consistent with what it has been, or have you seen more growth during the pandemic time?
Definitely more at the moment, for sure. Mm-hmm. The growth on my channel has been fairly steady, to be fair. It's not as quick as I'd like, but it's still growing. It's about 1,000 subs a month, maybe a little less, maybe about 800. But yeah, I've just got this vision. I just want one of those. It's sad, isn't it? I want one of those little plaques they send you when you get to 100,000. I think that'll be it. Then I'll have made it. But
well, what's your plan to get to 100,000?
I just need to create more content and better content. I've got an idea now, and I've got quite a clear idea in my mind, the kind of content that people want, the kind of people that they view. So I just need to do more of that. And that is basically more tutorials on how to create sites. Mm-hmm. They're always very popular, but they take me so long to put together, because I have to create an entire site, I have to record it all and edit it. Well, I'm editing one at the moment, but I've got about 4 to 5 hours of footage. It's a lot. And
I was just waving. Asim said he was jumping off, and so this is the dinosaur from last week's stream. I also wanted to do a quick shout out to Mike, who was popping in with one of his wins. He got another one of his sites on a Zoic yesterday. And Mike, if you're still in the chat, you had mentioned that you thought your ad revenue was down with the Zoic versus AdSense, and I just wondered if you could give me an update on how that is playing out and if that has improved at all. Jay is saying, do you have any ideas or tips for increasing the LCP for a WordPress website? This is something that I actually have an issue with mine as well, trying to fix the LCP with my WordPress site that's on Astra right now. And do you think it's going to be a big impact in the future?
Sorry for being stupid. What's LCP?
It's the large contentful paint. It's one of the
Oh,
four
okay, yeah, that's the speed.
in the Web Core Vitals.
Funny story on speed and stuff. I mean, the first thing is get the best hosting you can afford and the fastest hosting you can afford. The second tip is that you should probably create everything in HTML, but we're not techy enough for that, and we haven't got enough time. So yeah, my funny story is I had a guy approach me. He said, I can make your site faster. I can give you great page speed scores. And I was like, okay, what the heck? He was in Bangladesh. I wasn't worried though. And yeah, I let him into my site and he did some stuff and he increased performance. No worries. And then about a week or so later, I had another guy approach me and they said, hey, I saw what you did. I can make it even faster. This guy was in Pakistan. I still wasn't too scared. I was maybe a little bit, but it was fine. I let them in because they're sometimes you can get hackers and stuff from that part of the world. You get hackers from anywhere, but predominantly from those parts of the world. But yeah, and this guy made my site even faster. I get like a 99 page speed score on desktop and 60 odd on
mobile.
The other one, mobile. And basically what he did is he installed WP Rocket, which is a great plugin for WordPress. If you, by the way, I don't know if you've got an affiliate link for it, but if you haven't, my one is wpegor.com/WP Rocket. I will earn a small commission if you follow that. But that's a great little plugin. That seemed to make a big difference. And he also did lots of other tweaking in terms of the CSS and moving scripts around and all that kind of stuff. There's 2 videos covering both those stories I just mentioned on my channel. He's up for doing some work, so check him out in the second video. His email address there. I think it's like $100 and he will make your site super fast. Should you worry too much about it? Probably not. Probably not. I don't know how much effect Google page speed score has on your ranking, but anecdotally from other SEO experts, not a lot. And Google are always telling us that faster sites rank better. Well, I've seen evidence from SEO experts that test all this stuff out. You know, the real SEO geeks, they set up lots of sites and they make one run slow, make one run fast, and they do exactly the same things to see which one ranks better. And generally, from their evidence, they say that actually slower sites seem to outrank faster sites. If they're a better site, if they've got good content, they'll still rank well. So my message there is, yeah, either pay someone $100, guy from Pakistan, he'll get it going really well, or just don't worry about it too much. As long as your site loads in an acceptable time, so a couple of seconds, it doesn't feel slow when you're visiting it, then you're fine.
I think the reason that people have started to ask more about this was the notice that came out in May from Google about the intent to roll out an update next year about incorporating the Web Core Vitals into the ranking formula. So specifically the LCP and the first input delay and all these acronyms that for most of us, we just ignored because we looked at the page speed score and just like, yeah, like whatever. But that notice coming out definitely put it on my radar more to pay attention to that, especially, you know, looking in Google Search Console and you see the Web Core Vitals tab now and you see, you know, there are specific articles that are red, you know, problem articles, and you say, gosh, you know, Google is telling us that next year they're going to roll out an update to take into account these scores. Now, will they do that? Will it actually make a difference, especially if my site loads in under 2 seconds, but there's still, you know, according to like GT metrics, right? It says it's stupid fast, it scores an A, yet I still have an LCP problem. Is that going to mean in the future that my pages might not rank as well because of that? And I don't think anybody really knows yet because they haven't officially rolled it out, though there are folks that believe that Google is testing it and believe that their sites have been impacted in it or because of it as far as the testing. I'm just paying attention to it and trying to learn as much about it because I'm a tech moron. Like completely.
If it does become a big issue, then we'll overcome it. We'll find a way to improve our LCPs and these other acronyms and whatever. But I still don't think it's gonna, you know, if you've got a great site with great content, people click through to your site from Google, you've got a high CTR, you've got a low bounce rate, Google can see that, you know, people are engaging with your stuff, then I still think even if you have got a not a particularly good LCP or whatever else, you'll still rank fine. But we'll see. Yeah,
Bob is mentioning, just sort of chiming in about the Core Web Vitals. They say it's going to be important, but is how important is still, it remains to be seen. Jana says that you've got another subscriber.
Oh,
Jana,
thank you.
Yeah, she's a regular over here, and I think that you'll like it. Mike, we were asking about his Azoic progress. He said that he actually spoke to Azoic and that is now sorted. Simply Selling. This is Healthman, and so he's got a new channel. And I knew you before as Healthman, so now it is Simply Selling, and I will remember. Sammy says that we are both great tutors. We should try to make a Udemy course. Maybe we should make one together. Wouldn't that be fun?
Maybe.
Shake says, one question, if we change the theme, does it have any impact on Azoic ad placements? And the answer is yes, it 100% does. And so what you should not do when you are running Azoic is change your theme consistently or a whole bunch, because it does impact that. And they have to actually reset everything up on your website. You basically have to start over with the ad placements. So what I do when I'm going to change my theme over on Azoic is I contact a support person in advance and I tell them that I'm planning on changing the theme, and just have somebody connected up with me so that when the theme goes live, that I have somebody on board and ready to fix the ad placements so that I don't go a long period of time with my site essentially being down for ad revenue because there are no ad placements on the site. And so I just changed my theme recently. For my case study site, I changed from WordX to Astra. And I reached out to them and let them know that I was going to do it. And the support person that I've worked with in the past didn't get the memo or whatever, but I felt like I had done my job because I reached out to them. But it's basically the day that I changed the theme, they reached out to me and said, "Hey, we noticed that your ads are not getting impressions. You know, what happened? Did you change your theme?" And it's like, "Yes, I did. I just let you guys know." And they're like, "Oh, well, let's get your site back up." And so they're ready to work with me to make that happen. So yes, that is how you handle changing your theme in Azoic. And do not change your theme lightly if your ad revenue from Azoic is important to you. I would basically only do it if you were sure that that was the theme that you would want, and only put the ads back on when you are officially ready. Because if you change it willy-nilly all the time, eventually they're going to tell you, "Well, you've changed it 5 times this month. We'll help you do it again next month." I mean, they haven't done that, but I feel like, man, that they would not be happy to see you coming back again with another theme issue. Bradbury says, "Do what you can do, good hosting, caching, optimize what you can." Yes, I concur. You don't need to be a developer to sort most of those. And, I agree. And that's the thing that people tend to get intimidated by about, CSS and at least I do, right? I see those and I just kind of melt like, bleh. Question, do you miss the 9-to-5 life?
Well, no. I guess the one aspect that I do miss is just the social aspect. I made some great friends in my working life, and the office banter or whatever, or your team, or your team and your workmates and that kind of stuff. That really is important. The social aspects in terms of going out to events, the Christmas party, and all that kind of thing that you don't get when you're on your own. So yeah, I do miss that. But hey, we're not allowed out at the moment, so doesn't matter.
So everybody's living the same life, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I do still have one client that I work with, a company just up the road. I look after their Facebook ads and just general, do general consultancy, and they always invite me to their Christmas party. So I do get a staff Christmas party, and they've got a team of like 40 people. So it feels like a proper work Christmas party. Everyone getting too drunk at the boss's expense and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, that's the one thing that I think a lot of people miss, is that, you meet some great friends when you go to work.
Mm-hmm. I concur. Basically, I mean, the 9-to-5 lifestyle, I definitely miss the social aspects. But one thing you also sort of forget about when you're in a company is potentially having a mentor or a supervisor. I mean, it depends on the job you have, right? Your supervisor could be the worst thing about your job, but they could also be the best part about your job and helping you sort of make your way through your career and helping make sure that you add skills to your toolbox and to continue to grow in your career and in your business. And so when you're on your own doing this stuff online, it's up to you to initiate that and to take charge of your own growth. And I do miss having a mentor. I miss having people to bounce things off of and to talk to and to get a little bit of guidance. And now I just have to get in the habit of trusting myself, which has been a good exercise, right? In trusting my own self, but I do miss that out there in the working world.
Yeah, you have to be your own boss, and you have to, procrastination is a big issue when you work for yourself, I think. And because you haven't got that manager or that boss telling you, this is the project we need to do, and it needs to be done by this time, and you need to do this, this, and this, and then all you've got to do is just get on with it, haven't you? Whereas when you work for yourself, you've got to set yourself those deadlines and tell yourself what you got to do and when you're going to do it and when it needs to be done by and all that kind of stuff, which can be hard.
Well, I see Mark, who is just joining us. I want to say, hey, what's up? Thanks for popping in. I am going to wrap up this stream here shortly. So if you all have questions that you want to ask and have not answered, I'm not going to guarantee that we're going to ask them all. And if we miss a question, then you're just going to have to roll over to Alex's live stream next week on Monday.
It'll be Monday next week, yeah.
Yep. So
are they going to be Monday from now on? I think they're going to be back on Tuesday the week after, but we'll see.
Basically, head over there and ask him. And so maybe I'll just call this the last question, unless something pops up that I'm really excited about. It says, what app or tool do you use to get your activities and day organized?
Not the right one, probably, because I don't do enough. I don't feel like I do enough. I just use Google Calendar. I use Google Tasks. I do use the notes. I find that having notes, I have it on my phone, whatever, but even if you just had a notepad, because you get these ideas for things at the most random times. Well, I know I do. So it could be late at night, or it could be, in the shower, or when you're out and about, and you won't remember them. Well, I know I won't. I'll have this great idea for a video or great idea for a project or whatever, and just write it down as soon as you think of it. Otherwise it will go. But yeah, I just have a task list, and I'm always seeing those adverts from Monday.com, like maybe I need something, I don't know, but I think just a good task list. And I've even got a book here that I've only looked at a little bit. It's called I Get Shit Done. The way this works, I know my 3-year-old has scribbled all inside it. It's basically just you write down the important stuff, and that's one thing that I know, but I'm still particularly bad at, is you can find yourself getting bogged down with lots of tasks, like you do your email and then you do the little bits and bobs and this, that, and the other. Whereas if you just focused on the big stuff, the important stuff, the stuff that's going to actually move you forward to where you want to go, then it's much better. But again, a lot of this stuff is always easier said than done.
This is my to-do list, and see, this is my kids' contribution to it.
Yeah,
and then,
we've all got stuff.
And then here's mine. This is what I do.
Yeah, it's just trying to focus on the important stuff, isn't it?
All right. Healthman, Simply Selling is headed out. Bradbury says he sends him messages on WhatsApp, so it's convenient for notes. I use Google Sheets, and I just keep just a list of things so that I don't forget. And this is officially the last question from Samuel. So if you throw questions in there, we can answer them in the description or the rest. He says, when making a new site, do you plan what articles you'll upload and when? For example, if you're targeting your first 100 at really low competition, how do you schedule those out, if you do?
Again, I know that Carl has a very advanced scheduling sheet. I just tend to do a mix of articles because I think that works best. So you'll have some articles that maybe are going to be quite long. Sometimes they're called like pillar articles or cornerstone articles, cornerstone content. So I like to have a mix of those alongside some response, shorter articles where you're just answering a question. So, for example, on the roof box site, I wanted to create articles for every type of car. I'm still working on that. So a lot of people type in best roof box for a BMW, best roof box for a Mercedes. Then obviously you've got all the different types of BMWs and Mercedes and the rest of it. So rather than just post a load of them on the site in one go, I kind of wanted to space those out. So I'll have a guide on, the best roof box for your golf clubs, and then I'll have a couple of car ones, and then maybe I'll have a long one about, why you'd need a roof box. But yeah, I just like to have a mix. I don't have any particular strategy, and I think probably you should approach it the same way. If you're just starting out, you want to try and get a mix of articles of different lengths, of different types. So not just product reviews, not just how-to guides, but a mix of all those things.
Awesome. Well, Alex, I really want to just extend my gratitude and to thank you for taking the time to come over here. I really enjoy doing these types of interviews, and people who are watching this or who are watching this later, you'll have to let me know whether you think that the live format is as good or potentially better as doing a pre-recorded interview. I feel always a little bit scattered, and I have stuff prepared, but then there's the stuff in the stream. So there's benefits to it, but just knowing what people get the most value out of so that I can produce content that really serves the people who are watching this channel. And like I said, I would love to have you back sometime in the future.
Yeah, by all means. And you can come back on my channel. We've not done a live one yet. We've done a pre-record, so we can have a live one. You can be a guest on one of my streams and see how you can handle. I think it's fine to be fluid and not to be too rigid, and we'll just, see how it goes. That's, probably also to my detriment. I'm very bad at planning. Even like my recorded videos, I never have a script or anything on that. I do try and just keep it fluid. I mean, sometimes I have to do 20 takes in order to actually say what I want to say, but I think it's absolutely fine. And I love having the interaction. I think that's the great thing about having live streams, is that you get fantastic questions from the audience.
That's right. Stuff that I would have never thought to create content.
No. And I've really enjoyed it. And thank you for inviting me. And, your channel is growing really well, and you've got some very unique and interesting content. It's a great context. You saw I did the video with Steph the other week. I
did. I love her.
Yeah, it was good. I don't know. She lives somewhere where the internet isn't great, so it was kind of a little bit choppy, which maybe threw me off a little bit. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and she's a really interesting person and got some great stuff on the go.
She doesn't know yet that she can plug in her computer, I think, to the actual router to get a better.
Yeah. Mine's right here, and it's just straight in because Wi-Fi is a bit flaky.
I have Wi-Fi at my primary computer is in the other room, but I do these streams in here because I can actually plug in, and I don't even like this computer because I don't like I've shoved all the garbage
just out of shot. Yeah.
So that it makes it look like I'm organized, and the rest, that's why I shoot in the other room, because it has the white wall in the back. But anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I'm sure I have links to stuff, like I've started a newsletter. I'm working on a podcast. That stuff is all in the description. Just building experience and skills, doing as much as I can and everything. So thank you, Alex. And I look forward to having you back again soon. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye-bye.